Good morning to everyone. I am Mrs. Percy Pamela, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science at Sri Muthukumaran Institute of Technology, Mangadu, Chennai. Now I am going to give a presentation about the subject Python for Data Science, subject code AD2501 for first year, second semester students of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Department. First, let us see the course objectives. First one, to impart knowledge on Python programming and how it can be used for solving problems. Second one, to illustrate how to handle, clean, and analyze data using Python libraries. Next, to make use of Python tools and open datasets for real-world data science applications. Next, let us see the course outcomes. First course outcome, to understand the basic Python syntax and semantics and write simple programs. Second course objectives, to apply different Python functions and various operations like file handling and object-oriented programming concepts. Third course outcome, to design and analyze data-driven solutions using different libraries. Fourth course outcome, to develop continuous learning skills so that students may become expertise to use the open source software tools and to apply them in the data science and analytics jobs. The subject is divided into different modules. First module, the topic is basics of Python. Under this unit, they are going to learn the following topics. It is about the Python and all its basic concepts, including what is Python interpreter, what are the syntax and semantics, what are the different data types used in Python, and various basic functions, control flow statements, data structures, and different sequences like list, tuple, set, and dictionaries. Before going to the main subject, we have to know what is a data science because the topic is Python for data science. What is actually data science? Data science is the interdisciplinary study of data to extract meaningful insights and knowledge from large data sets using different scientific methods, algorithms, and programming. So as mentioned before, it is the study of huge quantity of data. It involves collection, analysis, and interpretation of various insights, patterns, and trends from large volumes of data. There are different types of data like structured and raw data. Data science relies on visualization to share ideas and explain data. Visualizing a data set means turning raw numbers into graphical representations like charts, graphs, to see various trends, patterns using different Python tools like Seaborn or Plotly, and common chart types like histograms for distributions, etc. In summary, data science involves analyzing raw data and asking the right questions, using efficient algorithms to model data, increase data visualization for better understanding. All these helps for business people who are running a large-scale business to run their business efficiently and effectively. Next is the pillars of data science. First one, the domain knowledge, which includes the business knowledge, expert systems, user testing. Next is math and statistics skills, all the mathematical statistical skills. Next is the computer science, where they will learn about the big data technologies, programming, and database. Next is the communication and visualization, which includes visual art design, storytelling skills, and art packages. Next is the various fields where data science is applied. Data science techniques can be applied in various fields like healthcare sector, finance and marketing industry, corporate world, travel industry, automation industry, and there are many other fields also. So it is widely used these days. For example, Amazon can provide suggestions based on product browsing history and customer ratings because Amazon is a famous e-commerce website which handles huge quantities of data, customer data, products data. So efficient data analysis techniques must be employed to run this huge scale business efficiently. So users can receive product recommendations based on their preferences. This keeps consumers active on such sites and boosts corporation profitability. To run a large-scale business like Amazon profitably, the company needs to implement different data analytics techniques. Importance of data science in improved risk management, increased efficiency of business, better understanding of complex systems, to improve decision making, to create new ideas, and it thus helps in innovation and helps customers better customer experiences. Data scientists address business challenges with statistics and arithmetic. They write business proposals, design predictive models, solve various business challenges. All these things data scientists can do efficiently with computer programming skills that can improve corporate decisions and address real-world problems. Statisticians develop models by applying statistical approaches to data. So for data analysis, we are going to learn how Python is used. For that, we have to know what is Python. Python is a popular programming language. It was released in 1991, created by Guido van Rossum. It is an interpreted, object-oriented, high-level programming language with dynamic semantics. So high-level programming language in the sense can be easily understood, read and written by human beings. So that is the meaning of high-level programming language. Python is extremely important for data scientists, serving as the industry's most widely used programming language because it is very simple, it is very versatile, and it uses extensive libraries and strong community support. Proficiency in Python is a common requirement for the majority of data science jobs these days. Features of Python language: it is beginner friendly. Python is super flexible, can run on any operating system. Python is easy to learn. It is easy for the humans to read, learn, and also do programming. It is highly versatile and it is free and open source. So these features in a pictographic representation: open source, it is freely available. Interpreted meaning the program is executed line by line by another unit which is called as an interpreted at runtime. Object-oriented programming structures code around objects, which promotes modularity through different OOPS concepts like classes, inheritance, and encapsulation. As told before, high-level languages or programming languages that are used for writing programs and software that can be understood by human beings. Portability: your code can run on different operating systems without any changes. And scalability refers to the system's ability to handle growing workloads or data volumes. And GUI programming in Python involves using different libraries and frameworks to create applications with visual and interactive elements like windows, buttons, menus, icons, etc. What can Python do? It can be used on a server side to create web applications. Apart from that, can be used alongside software to create workflows, to connect with different database systems, and also do various file operations like reading, updating, modifying files. Python can be used to handle big data and perform complex mathematics. It can be used for rapid prototyping. Prototyping refers to rapidly building an initial simplified version of a software application to test ideas, gather feedback, and validate concepts early in the development process. So, which is very easy if we use Python. So, in software development, what are all the various roles Python plays? Python can be used in software development for data science analytics, for various business applications, for web and internet development, for network programming, for database access, for various scientific and numeric operations and tasks, machine learning, education in the education field, and games and 3D graphics. There are numerous applications and job roles if students become proficient in Python programming. So it is very important to learn from basics the programming concepts and to develop various applications using Python. It runs on various different platforms, different operating systems like Windows, Mac, Linux, etc. Syntax is very simple, similar to English language. So even the beginners can learn Python programming easily. And the third point, if you see, it has syntax which allows developers to write programs with fewer lines compared to other programming languages. That is the main advantage. It runs on an interpreted system, which meaning that code can be executed as soon as it is written. Prototyping can be very quick. As mentioned before, prototyping refers to rapidly building an initial simplified version of a software so that we can easily test for any bugs. Python can be treated in a procedural way and also in an object-oriented way or in a functional way. This enhances readability and therefore the cost of the program maintenance is reduced. Python also supports various modules and packages. The Python interpreter and the extensive standard libraries are available in source without charge for all major platforms and can be freely distributed. Next, the key characteristics. First one, it is easy to read because it is written in English like syntax codes. Next one is the high level. It abstracts away the complex system details so that the programmers can focus only on the problem solving. Third one, interpreted. The code is executed line by line. Object-oriented. It supports object-oriented programming concepts. And next one is the extensive libraries supported by Python and different frameworks like NumPy, Pandas, etc. Platform independent, runs on various operating systems. Open source, free to use and distribute. Next we will see what is a Python interpreter. Interpreter meaning is to execute a program in a high level language by translating it one line at a time. We have to also know what is a compiler and also the difference between interpreter and a compiler. Compiler is to translate a program written in a high-level language into a low-level language all at once in preparation for later execution. Here we can see differences between compiler and interpreter. Compiler takes entire program whereas the interpreter takes single instruction line by line. So for a compiler, the intermediate object code is generated whereas no object code is generated using interpreter. Third point, in compiler, the conditional control statements execute faster whereas it executes slower if we use interpreter. And the fourth point, the memory requirement is more using compiler whereas the memory requirement is very less using interpreter. Program need not be compiled every time using compiler, whereas every time high-level program is converted into lower-level program using interpreter. Errors are displayed after entire program is checked using compiler. If you use interpreter, errors are displayed for every instruction interpreter. So example, C compiler. In interpreter, the programming language, we use Python. So Python interpreter is a program that reads and executes Python code. It translates your Python instruction into machine readable form line by line so the computer can understand and run them. Actually, it acts as a bridge between the human readable code you write and the computer's hardware, converting your high level instructions into a machine understandable format. So that's the main role of the Python interpreter. So when you run a Python program, the code passes through these following stages. First, it checks your errors in your code, then converts it to an intermediate form which is called as bytecode. Next, it sends to a Python virtual machine for execution. You see this pictorial representation. What are the different stages involved in Python interpreter? Starting from the compiler, a bytecode is generated. Then it is sent to a virtual machine, which includes Python library modules and inputs for your program. And finally, output is given. So there are two modes of execution in Python interpreter. First one is the interactive mode. Second one is the script mode. There are two ways to run the Python code. We see this pictorial representation, the differences between the interactive mode and the script mode. In the interactive mode, the immediate feedback is given. It executes line by line. And the third point, typically used to learn and test Python. So that's how the interactive mode works. Whereas in script mode, first we have to type the program and we have to save using .py extension. Then we have to run the entire program as a whole. That is the second step here. First step is saving the script using .py extension. Second step, running the complete program. Third step, where it is used, typically used for robotics and other projects. Interactive mode, it is for mainly testing purposes. While you're learning, we can use this interactive mode. After you learn very well, we can directly go to the script mode, where you can implement big projects and applications. So as the name suggests, interactive mode allows us to interact with the OS. When we type Python statement, interpreter displays the results immediately. Advantages: when you are a very beginner, you can learn and experiment and explore Python in the interpreter mode. So it is mainly for beginners. Small or single lines of instructions and codes you can test and can see how your code is working. The drawback, we cannot save the statements. We have to retype. If you are having more number of statements, you have to retype each and every time. You cannot save. So in the interpreter mode, you get this greater than symbol, 3 arrows. It is the prompt line where we will type the instructions and we will get the output. So it is the prompt the interpreter uses to indicate that it is ready for you to enter the code. If you type 1 plus 1, the interpreter replies 2. For printing hello world, the third point, if you see, print inside bracket within a single quotes. If we give some statement, for example here it is hello world, the interpreter immediately prints the output as hello world. This is a simple example of a print statement. So this is a screenshot how the interpreter works. You can see the 3 greater than symbol marks together. Next to that we have to type the commands. 2 plus 5, 7. 2 power 6, that is 2 asterisk 6 is 2 power 6, which is 64. Then next we have some instructions for printing. A equal to 3, B equal to 6, C is equal to A minus B. A minus B, print of C. So what is C? C is equal to A minus B, 3 minus 6. Print C, if we give, answer must be minus 3. Then the next statement, they are giving print of good morning within brackets and double quotes. The statement within the bracket will be printed, which is good morning. So this is how your Python code will be executed if we are running in the interpreter mode. In script mode, we type Python program in a file and then use the interpreter to execute the content of the file. Scripts can be saved. We can later also we can use those scripts because it is saved. Third point, we can use the extension .py, meaning the file name ends with .py extension. Save the code as file name .py and run the interpreter in the script mode to execute the script. So example for the script mode, print of 1 x equal to 2, print of x. So this is a simple statement for your understanding purposes. So these three statements within the box will be saved in .py extension, and output we have to run separately in another screen, like ideally screen. Their output will be displayed. Print of 1, the output will be 1. You're assigning x is equal to 2. You're assigning a value to a variable x and printing the variable x. So output will be 1 and 2. So there are various differences as told before between interactive mode and script mode. So interactive mode mainly for the beginners to test single line by line commands Python programs for learning purposes. So it is a way of using Python interpreter by typing commands and expressions at the prompt. Whereas script mode, after you have become a proficient programmer, we can go for the script mode, a way of using Python interpreter to read and execute statements in the script. So in interactive mode, we cannot save or edit the code, whereas in the script mode, we can save and edit the code. Third point, if you want to experiment with the code, we can use the interactive mode, line by line checking whether this line is correct, then we can proceed to the next line. Whereas script mode, if you are very clear about the code, we can use the script mode. Next, we cannot save the statement for further use and we have to retype once the system is switched off. Whereas in the script mode, we can save the statements for further use and we need not retype all the statements. We can see the results immediately in the interactive mode, whereas we cannot see the results immediately. We have to type the entire code, we have to save, clear all bugs, and finally only we can see the results in the script mode. The Python language basics. What are the semantics for Python? Semantics are the rules in a programming language that determine what is meant by an allowed statement. What are the different rules are there if you want to do programming in Python? That is the meaning of semantics. It is possible in similar programming languages to have statements with identical syntax but different meanings. Next is the concept of variables. Variables are the memory locations set aside to hold a value. Variables types, there are different variables types present. Python's variable type is determined by the values provided to it, whether it is an integer variable. If it is a decimal point variable, we call it as a floating variable. Python does not require an explicit declaration in order to reserve memory. Variables are defined with the assignment operator, which is an equal to operator. Python is dynamically typed, meaning that variables can be assigned during runtime. Values can come from constants, from computation involved, values of other variables, or from output of a function. Example of variable declaration and assignment. Here we can see how the values are assigned to the variables. A is equal to 20, A is a variable and 20 is a value. So 20 is a value. We call this as an integer variable because 20 is an integer. So next, if we see B equal to 8.9, It is a decimal number, so B is a float variable. B is assigned a floating point value, which is 8.9. The next one, C is assigned a string within double quotes. We have typed welcome to Python world. C is a string variable because we have assigned a string like alphabets, continuous letters or alphabets. We call it as a string. Next concept, what are keywords? Keywords in programming language point of view, it is a set of predefined words. We call them as keywords. So as mentioned before, each language has words and rules that make sense when put together in a sentence. There are a set of predefined words which are called as keywords. You cannot use these keywords anywhere else in Python because they have a fixed special meanings. Keywords set the rules for how the code is written. Those keywords cannot be used as variables or function names or symbol names. The only words in Python that are written in capital are true and false. There are different keywords. Each keyword has a special meaning and a special function. These keywords cannot be used as a variable names like false, none, true, await, break, class, if, else, while. Mostly there are 35 keywords used in Python. Next we will see what is a value. Value can be any letter, number or a string. Example, values can be 2 if it is an integer value, 42.0 it is a floating point, hello world it is a string. So these values belong to different data types. Next we will see what is a data type. Every value in a Python has a data type. It is a set of values and the allowable operations on those values. Different data types in Python. It's an important thing which comes under basics of Python programming. There are numbers. Under numbers, we have integer, floating point, and complex numbers. Next is a Boolean, whether it is true or false. All those comes under Boolean data types. Next is the sequences. Under sequences, we have 3 sequences: strings, tuple, and list. Fourth one, sets, and the last one is the dictionary. Under numbers, we have all these data types: integers, integer whole number, all those called as integers, represented as int. Long integers, they are represented using the data type long. They can be represented in octal and hexadecimal representation. Next one is a floating point, decimal point numbers we call as float data types. Then complex data types, they are of the form a plus bj, where a and b are floats and j represents the square root of -1, which is an imaginary number. Sequence is an ordered collection of items indexed by positive integers. It is a combination of mutable meaning the values can be changed, and immutable meaning the values cannot be changed. 3 types of sequence data types we have in Python. First one is strings. Strings are a sequence of characters, letters, numbers, special characters together put as a sequence. We call them as strings. Next one is list. List is an ordered sequence of items. Next is a tuple. Tuple is it's also a list, but it is an immutable list. Immutable, we cannot change. So those comes under tuples. Boolean is a simple data type that represents one of the 2 possible values, true or false. Next data type is a set. Set is an unordered collection of unique and immutable elements. The last one is a dictionary. In short form, we call as dict. It is a built-in data type that stores data in key value pairs. That's all for the demo presentation for the subject Python for data science. Thank you.